If your mindset is all about achievement, that was me for many, many years, and your heart is like running on fumes, this video is really going to be your wake-up call. Because when self-love can get replaced by overgiving, what's going to happen is it doesn't follow success. It's really bitterness, resentment starts to show up, burnout is what we call it, and a crumbling of the things that you once loved become really annoying, including relationships, things that you find fun in the past, that all of a sudden you're like, I can't even do it anymore. You deserve more than that, and that's why we're going to talk about that. It's Alicia Soikawa, the Empowered Woman. I am back from my great trip from Croatia. I'll have to do a little video on my takeaways on going there, but I went with the Platinum Partners with Tony Robbins, and right before I went, I was running on fumes. I was that person. I was giving so much of myself with all my clients, with my business clients in real estate, with my clients in coaching, with the healing stuff, meaning taking the classes and studying and practicing and just giving so much of myself that I didn't even realize how burned out I was getting. And I'm just saying that because I think sometimes as women, in particular, you don't even realize you're burned out. You just kind of go and do the things every day, do your routine, do what's expected of you. And sometimes all of a sudden you realize, wow, I'm just wiped. And you don't even realize till you get away from the whole situation. Like I had to go to a different country, different time zone. And wow, did that reset me. And it even took me a few days after coming back to kind of regather my thoughts and figure out what it is that I want. So one of the things you need to think about when you're watching is, why do you think the resentment starts to begin with? Like, what are the signs that show you, ooh, this isn't right, I'm starting to build bitterness and resentment? How to shift out of it without quitting your goals, like the outcomes that you said you wanted, and not start all over again. Because I think that's the biggest fear that people have is, oh my gosh, what if what I was working so hard for isn't what I want anymore? Now, if that's really the case, like I've had some epiphanies. For me, things have just shifted in how things are kind of coming about. It doesn't mean I don't want the same goals. Like I still want to live an amazing, fabulous life and travel, do all the things, have all the fun things. It's just, I think going about it is changed for me. And it's not about hustle, kill myself, work all hours of the day and night, give up everything to get those things. And that's what I really believe for so many years you had to do in order to have success, which is not true. It's all about energy and abundance, right? Thinking about self-love and self-care and how do you protect your mental health in this day and age, especially with so much noise coming at you. I really wanted to do a whole few videos on this specifically because I have personally been going through it myself. And so the biggest thing is looking at 3 different mindset shifts that will bring you peace and power back into your life by your design, not because someone's forcing you to do it or you're trying to appease someone else. Like I think we all know we can kind of have these out of body experiences, and some of it is the perimenopause thing. So if you're getting into the late 40s, mid 40s, into your 50s and haven't gone to menopause yet, you're in this really weird zone. There's a lot more awareness about that in the world today, but I think as a woman going through it now, it's bizarre. I'm not going to tell you that. So I'm navigating, so you'll have to come along with me through this ride. But identity, is really big when you think about it. You have to first identify the pain. You have to think about what exactly is making you burned out. Is it a person? Is it an experience? Is it a type of client? Is it just a season you're in right now? I always say this for my people that are dealing with newborns and toddlers. You're in a season. It's going to be difficult and hard. It doesn't last forever, but while you're in it, you just have to tag team with your partners and get support to help you through that whole time, the season, right? And so if you think about this, you're doing everything great, okay? You hit all your goals, you take care of everybody, and yet you feel emotionally flat, dead, resentful, maybe kind of pissed off because you're thinking that there should be more. If you're finding yourself thinking, there's gotta be more to life than this is probably what we're talking about. You fantasize about running away. I've been there. I'm like, what would happen if I just ran away? Not because you don't love your life or love your family, but because sometimes you just want to run away because there's so much coming at you all the time and you're just not in it anymore. And you feel like, I just want to escape for a little bit, right? So sometimes you'll think about, if this is happening to you, that's like code for, yes, that is me. I need to reevaluate what's going on. Why am I getting burned out? If you're finding that you're snapping at your loved ones, being really short-tempered, if you feel really unseen, or you feel like you're always measuring yourself up to someone else's successes. I had a call today with a client. She said something about a timeline. I'm behind. And I said, behind for what? Like, there is no race. And I think it's really important to understand there is no race. You're in your own personal journey. So don't get that confused with someone else's journey. You're on your own journey and they're on their journey. And it's okay. I think it's really important to recognize that. This is a huge one. Guilt for needing space or rest. Guilt for needing space or rest. If that's something you're feeling. A compulsive achievement masking as exhaustion? Are you someone that's always having to win? Always, it's never enough. It's like the heroine of success. Like if you're number one, then I have to be number one every year. Or I have to be even better. I have to do my volume. I have these people that say, I'm going to sell this many houses and I need to sell this many houses. And I'm like, why? Again, what is the purpose? What is that going to get you? Is it to give you a better life? What are the outcomes really giving you? It's not just a number or monetary value. There has to be something associated with it that triggers you to want to do it beyond the day-to-day, because it gets hard, right? What is the emotion? Like why? And so when you think about these things, if this is you, gosh, that was like all of those with me, is thinking about shifting to self-love from self-sacrifice, from moving to self-love from sacrifice. Because I think if there's that feeling, and I've said those words, I have to do it, I have to sacrifice, it's my duty, it's my obligation, I'm the oldest daughter from an immigrant family. That is like our motto, right? Like, why are you sacrificing? Because self-love, self-care is not, again, we talked about in past videos, it's not taking a bubble bath or getting your manicure or facials or massage. It's about taking care of yourself, about loving yourself, having a relationship with yourself, and knowing the things that you need. If your heart's hurting, giving it some time and care. If you need to get curled up and sleep more, sleep more. If you want to go on a vacation that you want to do, go do that. Don't do all the things for everybody else and make what you want last. If you want to eat a certain meal, you eat that meal. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. It's not indulgent, it's maintenance. It's the minimum, the bare minimum. There's a quote that says, a woman who rests is a woman who resists burnout. It's a great quote. A woman who rests is a woman who resists burnout. It's kind of like, there's like a meme I saw or a little infographic where it had like a battery pack. It's like your cell phone. Do you wait till it's almost like gonna shut down to charge it? Or do you kind of wait to see till it goes into low? You need to be recharging yourself before you're already almost ready to shut down. Because by the time you shut down, it takes forever to reset, it shuts off. It's a lot longer than just keeping going. I'm personally 50%. Like once my phone hits 40% or so, or 30%, I'm plugging that baby in. Something to think about. Do you need to plug yourself in? Are you running at 20% all the time instead of plugging into 80%, 90% and staying at that higher levels where you can show up better for yourself and everyone else around you? Tip. Time blocking weekly isn't productive, it's sacred. I'm a huge time blocker. I have a whole class on time blocking and scheduling, and there's a reason for that, because if you think about it, the more you can schedule your life, it gives you so much more freedom, because you know you need to be where you don't need to be. You don't have to run on memory. You don't have to say yes to someone. You can look at your calendar and go, that's not gonna work for me today. Or I have this available. You're not shoving things in last minute and running on adrenaline. You can be prepared. You can give your mind a rest to know that you don't have to store everything in your head. You can go to your calendar and it's there. So there's multiple reasons why I think time blocking is huge. It's one shift. Second shift is going to be proving versus aligning. If you're always trying to prove yourself versus just aligning it, that right there is a problem in itself. Like, am I trying to prove something? Am I trying to prove I'm good enough? Am I trying to prove I'm worth it, or I'm worth being loved, I'm worth being working? Like, if you're trying to prove your value all the time, you've already lost. You're not in alignment with that client. You're not in alignment in those relationships. Like, you have to think about, what am I aligned with that matters to me? Because a lot of times we're running around for the worst clients, number one, the biggest pains in the asses that you don't even want to work with. And then the ones that are amazing and that appreciate you and that you're aligned with, a lot of times you neglect them because they're chill and they're cool and they just allow things to happen, and that's what you should want for yourself. So learning the difference between proving and aligning is huge. And that's another shift, because burnout often comes from chasing that external validation. We're all guilty of it. I was listening to a podcast from Michael Singer earlier, and he was talking about ego, and ego is everything within ourselves. When it's me, I. If you're always worried about what so-and-so thinks, or I don't want to look wrong. I did that today. I'm going to a dinner and I was like, should I put a belt with this? Should I? I mean, we're human. But at the same time, you can't constantly seek the external validation. Again, that goes back to self-love and understanding that if you're seeking that constantly, you have to question, am I trying to prove something to someone, or am I really in alignment? Something to think about. Realignment practice is something you could do. You can journal, you can spitball. If you like to talk out loud, use that ChatGPT. It's a great thing to use AI for. And this is a great prompt. What's mine to carry? Question mark. And what can I release? And just be still. Listen to your favorite music, like instrumental probably, so it doesn't mess with your thoughts, and just let it flow. So that's a great thing to do, like proving versus aligning, which I do. And the last one is going to be resentment equals boundary leaks. Resentment's not really about other people, really. It's about what you build up in yourself. It's a signal that you have abandoned your boundary and you've betrayed what you said you wanted. I've been there with all of these. That's why we're talking about it. And saying, I'm not available for that, instead of explaining and defending yourself. And I think there's a saying that once you hit your 30s as a woman, you can say no. When you hit your 40s, you just don't even, it's not happening. You don't even have to worry about saying no. Kind of the things show up that you wanted to. And I'm hoping in my 50s is what I hear is even better, is that you just don't really care. There's a big group on TikTok called the We Don't Care Club. I love it. And it's really things that you just don't care about anymore that used to get so bent out of shape. There's a pretty big practice here. So resentment comes from when you do things because you feel like you have to do them, and then you start getting pissed, and bitterness turns into resentment. It ruins relationships. It ruins businesses. It ruins a lot of things, and takes away your happiness. So if you're going to be resentful for something, just don't do it to begin with. Recognize that's something that you're going to do and just say, I'm not available for that, or unfortunately for you, it's not going to work for me. And I think one-liner boundaries you can use it at home, you can use it at work, almost like have it as like a sticky note for yourself. Like, I need to check my schedule. Nope, that's not available. If you can't say no right away because you have that guilt that you build up, then say, let me check my schedule and I get back with you. See if they follow up. And if they do, that's when you say, oh, I meant to get back with you. I'm not available. So you can kind of push it if you feel like you need that bravado or that courage to say no. Because after a while, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier, I swear. And it's something that you need to think about, And I think for me, a turning point and looking at, for me, is the realization is that, gosh, right before I left for this trip, my husband even said he was worried about me. I had some major meltdowns and I was a lot of stuff happening, shifts happening. I'm having a lot of midlife thoughts going into my 50th year. In November, I turned 50. And I think I just had been burning myself at both ends and giving so much of myself in trying to get everything done and trying not to be saying no to everybody. And I was saying no to things, believe it or not, but it was still just doing so much and doing so much. And I think ultimately what it came down to is I just needed some time away by myself. And I just needed some time to breathe and to think and to be away from my environment so that I could have some brain space to think about things that would fill me up and just to be exposed and network with other amazing business people that are doing things differently. And if you give yourself permission to do that, I guarantee you a magic kind of opens up. For me, what happened was going away is that I could breathe. The best way to explain it is that I kind of felt like I was breathing through a straw, but I needed to take the straw away and take a big breath. And I think going away gave me that breath. And it wasn't that I was running away from my family or my husband or my responsibility. I love coaching. I love what I do. I love to serve. I love this whole healing journey I'm in right now with pranic healing. I love doing these videos and creating content. I love my life so many ways, but I think we all need breaks though. We all need to rest and reset. And I think I just hadn't had that. And so it was turning into little micro resentments everywhere in my life. Like this was pissing me off and my house was pissing me off and I just had no patience left. And it was exactly like I just said before, these signals were coming up to me and I was starting to get to less than 20% battery. What I think we recognize for me going forward is that I need to have these resets, and I don't need to go out of the country every year or go away for a week, but just a weekend or a night once every month or so, just to reclaim myself and not have to think about anything, put my phone on do not disturb, is going to be crucial for me going forward. And that's something I really learned about myself. And that's why I thought this video would be so helpful for other people, because I think it's not just happening to people that are going through difficulties in life. It happens to people that are successful, that are moving forward, that are doing all the things. A lot of times these recognitions of, oh my gosh, what's happening is happening then. And I think for me, gosh, that was the biggest aha of self-love I could have given myself was that trip. And even the pictures I was sending my family, they're like, wow, you just look so different. You look so happy. You're glowing. I just felt renewed. And I kept saying that I feel renewed and reset and ready, even though I came back majorly jet lagged and in funk. Because I think it's hard to come back like after you have downtime and you've been going so hard for so long. And when you do finally slow down, my adrenals had been so burned out that I felt overexhausted. It just took me a couple more days. And today I feel fantastic. So we're doing content, right? So that would be the biggest things is like understanding, have you had moments like this? I'm curious. put in the comments below. I'd love to have a chat with you. DM me if you'd like to have a one-to-one to talk about how do you go about that? How do you recognize what you need for yourself? How do you have those conversations with your loved ones to say, I just need a little break. I'm not running away from you, or I'm not escaping you. I just need a break. I think everybody needs a break. I think our husbands need a break. Our kids need a break. Everybody needs a break. And I think the 3-step self-love resets I would do daily, a 5-minute reset daily. I do a lot of the pranic breathing now. I've been adding in more meditations, closed eyes, hands on heart or breathing, 6 counts in, hold 3, 6 counts out, hold 3. Protect, meaning like saying no, just like I'm unavailable, or putting a pause on it, saying, let me check my calendar, get back with you, before you just start saying and adding and adding and adding and making yourself worn out. Right? Or looking at your calendar and saying, the next available date I have is this. Don't just give them the immediate date. Give them a couple options a week from now, 2 weeks from now. Because people will just interrupt your schedule in life as much as they want. They don't know what's going on with you. They're looking at their life and schedule. So it's up to you to protect your life and schedule. And practice. Like I think daily mantras, looking at yourself, looking for things to love about yourself, to celebrate about yourself, to have little things that make you smile and happy. Sometimes it's a new outfit, getting a new hair tool, a new lipstick, something like that. You know, you don't have to earn anything. You just automatically get to have rest. It's part of being a human being, is resting. So there isn't about anything like I'm earning this treat. Like some people say, oh, I earned this dessert. No, you earn rest by existing. So making sure you give yourself that rest is really, really important every day. And especially now, I'm finding that myself, if I don't get enough rest, bad bueno, no bueno for me. You don't have to burn your whole life down. You don't have to quit everything, get a divorce and quit everybody and quit your job to come back to yourself. You can just take a time out. You can choose you intentionally. You can figure out alignment. And that's what I did. I went away for a little bit and look, all is better and new. So I highly recommend that, a little vacay for you, even if it's just a weekend with the girls or just to get away, or going to a place, Airbnb, privately by yourself in a quiet cabin to go read or go do something that you love to do. Like if you have a hobby, you're a biker, go on a biking trip. If you're a runner, go sign up for a race out of the place for yourself. Go do something that, climb a mountain. I canyoned up, down a mountain, up a mountain. I did some crazy stuff and scared the crap out of myself, but I did them. I did hard things while I was away, which again gave me more confidence, more self-love and admiration about all the things I can do and accomplish. And ta-da, here I am today. Everything layer 2 adds to your next step of your next greatness, about your next identity. And until next time, stay empowered, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Remember, take your breaks.